I'm Jeremy Fawcett, Head of Direct at the Platforum, and I'm with Heather Hopkins, the Platforum's Research Director, and we're going to be speaking about the consumer research that the Platforum conducts. So Heather, we're in the 5th year of conducting consumer research within the D2C channel. So what does that research consist of?
We do 3 bits of research, Jeremy. We do a nationally representative survey through Ipsos Mori, which is a face-to-face omnibus survey where we can get nationally representative results of UK adults. And then we tuck in a little bit deeper to active investors, and we do a piece with consensus research on active private investors. And those are people that have a minimum of 2 platform accounts and have added money to at least one of those accounts in the past year. So they're quite an engaged group. And then we get some really interesting results from another bit of research we do with the Telegraph, and it's a survey of Telegraph readers who are quite an active group, and we get some really interesting results on reasons for changing platform and what's informing their decisions in choosing a platform.
Yeah, and that's quite consistent with the consensus research
Absolutely.
Findings as well, isn't it? So what are some of the most interesting findings that come out of the research?
I think there's one of the things that we try to do is set a benchmark for the number of people who are investing to try and see whether that pool of people who are accessing the markets is increasing or decreasing. And the surprising thing is really how few people are investing. So of the entire UK adult population, about half say that they have savings or investments, and of that group, about half of those say that they have risk-based investments. So it's about a quarter of the population that have risk-based investments. That includes personal pensions, unit trusts, OICs, and it's that number really hasn't moved much over the past year. We've been doing this for 5 years on twice a year, and we just haven't seen that number of people who say that they have risk-based investments is moving.
Are there findings that come out of the research that people are surprised by?
I think one of the most surprising things that our customers see in it is that the majority of people say that they take a blended approach. So the industry traditionally has treated people as either self-directed or advised, but the reality is that the majority of people, the latest research said 53% of people take a blended approach. So they do some investing on their own, and they rely on a professional advisor for some of their investments as well. And there are people who are entirely self-directed or who are entirely advised, but that majority do fit in the middle as being blended.
Okay. And what about brand awareness? Because I know that's important to consumers.
You're right. Brand is a really important criteria. When we ask investors about what criteria is most important to them in choosing a platform, a trustworthy and well-known brand name is the most important criteria. So despite all of this attention in the press about price, actually that hygiene factor of a well-known brand is really the most important base point that we're working from. And in the survey that we do of active private investors, we ask about brand awareness. And so we give a list of brand names, so it's prompted brand awareness, and ask whether they recognize any of those platform brands. And this research is done with active private investors. So again, it's a really engaged group of investors. And only 5 of those platforms that we ask about enjoy prompted brand awareness of 20% or higher. And the majority of those, the only one that's in the top 5 that's not a high street brand is Hargreaves Lansdowne. So the majority of those are high street brands that would influence brand recognition of the platform, even though we try to control for that. So brand awareness is a major issue for the platform market. So if we're really going to try and grow that pie of investors, there's going to need to be something that switches there to grow brand awareness of some of these groups.
Okay, so that's interesting. So brand is an issue within D2C. So clearly within D2C we can see the importance of consumer research. But what about in some of the other distribution channels? So for example in the retirement area?
Yeah, we're doing a piece of research now on the retirement changes. So with the new pension flexibilities that have come into play, we're doing some research with consumers to look at how they define retirement. This idea that people hit age 65 and they take their pension and walk out of the building is really behind us. People are rethinking the way that they view retirement. Older people becoming small business owners, working later in life, and so on. And the other thing that we're going to tease out in that research is how people will fund their retirement, because the pension pot, the defined contribution pension pot, for the reality is that's quite a small proportion of many people's retirement savings, and so understanding how people are going to fund their retirement, I think, will really help the industry to have the conversations with customers to help them fund their retirement.
So consumer research is important across a number of different distribution channels within the investing world. Our consumer research is available through a number of our different services, research services. What do people use it for? Well, market size, consumer behaviour, shifts. People use this research for internal, external business cases, and they also use it for tracking their own position compared to competitors. It's worth noting that we also do bespoke research for a number of our clients. So quite a number of different access points for consumer research at the Platforum. Do please get in touch if you're interested in any of those.